Hey, what's going on everyone? It's your boy Redstone9X here and welcome back to another command block tutorial video. Now in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to do edible item commands in Minecraft. And what I mean by it is that these commands will allow you to give yourself items that cannot normally be eaten as food, but you can actually consume them as food items. And there's also an item that can turn just about any item you want into a food item as well. Now, before I go into more details on what those commands are to make this work, you know the drill. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe. And turn on those notifications so you don't miss another video. Apart from that guys, let's begin today's video. Okay guys, so here are all the commands right here, or at least this is some of the commands here, and we're actually in a nice kitchen setting because of the theme of food. There's also more commands below, but we're going to get to those later on in this video. And as always, all of these commands right here will be in the description down below so you guys can copy and paste them into your world later on. Now, let us begin. So first off, as always, I'm going to demonstrate how this works. We're going to start with these three items that are most likely to being edible, even though they're not, to the ones that are least likely to being edible. Starting with honeycomb, glistering melon slice, hopefully I said that correctly, and a cake. Now I know what you're thinking. You can eat cake, but that's only when you place it on the ground. And you can only eat one piece at a time. But we'll get to that later. So, let me just make myself a little bit more hungry than I am right now to demonstrate. Okay guys, so I made myself hungry. Also, I grabbed the original items that you cannot normally eat. So when I right click, nothing happens with either one of them. And as for the cake, you can only eat it by placing it down. But these are the ones you can't consume, so watch. When I eat this honeycomb, as you can see, I got a decent amount of hunger points. Now for a glistering melon. Slightly more than the honeycomb right there. And I need to make myself a little bit more hungry again, because the cake does give you a lot of hunger points back. So let's wait for that to happen real quick. So when you right click the cake holding it in your hand, it gives you pretty much an enormous amount of hunger points back. So I pretty much made it so that it gives you exactly the same amount as you would when you're eating cake from the ground pretty much. So that was the first three items to show off in this video, or at least three examples anyway. So now we're going to move on to the items that are least likely to being edible, but in this case, they are. So we have, hold on, let me put these away. So we have a diamond, an iron sword, and a totem of undying, which are very unlikely to be edible items, probably not the very tastiest either. So same drill, I'm just gonna make myself hungry real quick, just so I can demonstrate. Okay, so with that, we're gonna enjoy eating this diamond. This is probably something you're not gonna hear me say. And just like that, you saw right there, I just ate a diamond. And that gave me 1 hunger point, which is to be expected, because items like these are not exactly supposed to give you that much hunger, but I altered them so that they kind of do it decently. So now next is an iron sword. See? Craziness, I'm just eating a sword right now.
Wait, that's illegal.
And lastly, we got a totem of undying.
NANI?
And with that pretty much fed me all the way up to full right there, which is very bizarre, you might say. So those are the 6 examples I got to show you. So now we're going to go over the commands into how they actually work right now. Starting with the honeycomb right here. So you see this first bit is just a simple give at p Minecraft : honeycomb. But then we want to open some brackets right here, and then you want to do food equals, and it's like curly brackets, we do nutrition : 4 and saturation 4. Close all brackets at the end with 1 at the end here. So just for a little background on nutrition and saturation for Minecraft. So nutrition is pretty much the number of hunger points you restore, and saturation is how long before you go hungry again. So You don't have to make the numbers of both of them exactly the same when making these items. I just decided to do that for the purpose of this video. But you can feel free to alter the numbers to however you see fit. So same thing for the glistering melon, except I changed the numbers to 5 right here. For the cake I put 14. For the diamond is 2 for both. For the iron sword, just 1. And for the totem of undying, to 20. So you could pretty much go crazy with the amount of nutrition and saturation for these types of items right here. Okay, so now we're gonna go over the other thing I want to show off in this video. So let's head down these trapdoors real quick. And I'm gonna show off this item called the food item converter. So just as a heads up, the following commands here, there will be a link in the description down below for the food item converter anyway. So now I'm gonna first quickly demonstrate how this works. And let's grab myself, let's say some gold, because why not? And you're just gonna keep a stack of gold on the side real quick. So actually, let me put the 4 right here. So here's how this works. So you just need to hold this in your offhand, and then you get a variety of options right here. So as you can see, there is level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. So what you need to do is put an item on the ground, and then you just need to right click with any of the different levels right here. So we're going to start with level 1, and when you do so, for level 1 you get a green particle effect, and after you saw that, that means it works. So I'm just going to make myself hungry again, and with that I'm just going to chow down on this gold right here. So as you can see, level 1 doesn't really give you much, so because it's pretty basic. So next we're going to try out level 2, and this time you get a yellow particle effect for that. And when you consume this one, you saw it gave me a lot more hunger points than the last one did at level 1, which is pretty understandable. So now we're going to move on to level 3, and that gave me orange particles. And when eating this, definitely way more hunger points, so we're getting even better. And finally, we're going to move on to level 4. So when I right click with this, you get red particle effects. And when you eat this golden egg this time, you get almost a full amount of hunger points from just that one. Very good for the highest level of this food item converter. But now let's say you accidentally changed one of your items into an edible item, and you were like, wait, I don't want to consume this. Well, good thing for you that this thing has a reverse mode. So all you gotta do is take this back in your main hand and right click the item again, and you'll get gray particle effects, and with that, the item goes back to not being edible again. So this can be great if you don't want to accidentally consume your favorite items, when it's for gathering resources, enchanted items, etc. Okay, so now that we've seen that, let's go over the commands into making this all work out, so be back in a sec. Oh, there's one quick thing I almost forgot to mention about this thing. So this only works for one item at a time, because doing a stack of the same item will get rid of the stack and leave only one. So let's say you want to try to make a whole stack of gold. Hold on, let me drop it real quick. Let's say you want to try and make a whole stack of gold edible at once. But when you try doing that, say to level 2, for example, as you can see, it literally got rid of that whole stack and only one came out of it. So make sure you're only doing this with one item at a time when doing this. Okay, now let's go over the commands to make this all work out.
Meanwhile.
Okay guys, so first things first, we need a scoreboard command to make this all work out. Starting with this one. So it's scoreboard objectives add, and then you do edible underscore items right over here. And then you do minecraft.used :minecraft.caret underscore on underscore a underscore stick right here. And then this command simply removes that scoreboard if needed right here. So now we're going to move on to the items that actually activate the food item converter itself. Starting with these first four, which pretty much give you the different items when you put the food item converter in your offhand, aka the levels 1 through 2 items. Starting with this one, which gives you level 1. So it's execute at P, and then you do run execute if entity at P, and inside brackets we do MBT equals, inside curly brackets, inventory colon, and then you put the slot number, -106B, which is the slot number for the offhand. And then we put caret on a stick right here. And then you want to do count components, and inside these curly brackets we do Minecraft colon custom underscore data, and inside these brackets we do edible underscore items colon 1B, so that way it detects the food item converter. Close all these brackets, and then you do run item replace entity at P hotbar.2 with the special lime dye named level 1, as you see here. This one's the same thing, except this is for the level 2 item right here. So pretty much the exact same first bit as the last one I just showed you. Except we just need to come over here and just change this to hotbar.3, and then put in all the information for the special yellow dye named level 2, as you see here. Same thing for this one, except it's for level 3. So all we need to do is just come over here, change this to hotbar.5, and then put in all the information for the special orange dye named level 3, as you see here. And lastly, same thing for the level 4 item, except we just need to change this bit to hotbar.6, and then put in all the information for the special red dye named level 4, as you see here. Pretty standard stuff. So now we're going to move on to the commands that actually activate the food item converter. Starting with this one, which pretty much activates the edible item scoreboard if you have the level 1 item selected. So this first bit means when the player has the special caret on a stick named food item converter in their offhand, and when they have the special lime dye named level 1 selected, it's going to run this. Run scoreboard player set at E, and inside brackets we do scores equals, and inside curly brackets we do edible underscore items equals 1, 2 dots at the end, close both brackets, and then you do the same scoreboard name here with 0 at the end here. Then this command over here creates a small green particle effect. So it's execute at P, run execute at E, and inside brackets we do type equals item, distance equals 0.3, MBT equals on ground colon 1B, and inside these brackets we do MBT equals, and we do an exclamation mark here, and this bit pretty much means any items that do not have the food component on them will not be affected. And then we do sort equals nearest, limit equals 1, and then you do run particle Minecraft colon dust, and then put in all the information for the color, scale colon 1, 3 squiggly lines like this with 0.75 4 times with 1000 at the end here. And then this command over here adds the food components to the items on the ground. So it's execute at P, run data merge entity at E, and inside brackets we do type equals item, distance equals 0.3, MBT equals on ground colon 1B, sort equals nearest, limit equals 1, and then here you do inside these curly brackets item colon count colon 1 components, and inside these curly brackets Minecraft colon food, and inside here we put nutrition colon 1 and saturation colon 1, and close all these brackets here. For the nutrition saturation, that's what I decided to put them for the different types of levels here. But if you think these are too low or too high, then you can feel free to modify them later on. So now we're going to move on to the command that activates the same scoreboard, but if you have the level 2 item selected. So pretty much the exact same first bit as the last one I just showed you. Except we're just going to change the selected item to the special yellow dye named level 2. Right over here. And then the command is exactly the same as the last one. So now this command creates a yellow dust particle effect. So exactly the same command as the one that does the green particle effects. Except we just come over here and just alter the numbers of the dust particle effect to these numbers. Scale equals 1. And then the rest over here is exactly the same. And then this command is exactly the same as the last one I just showed you as well. Except we just come over here. And we just change the values of nutrition and saturation to 5 right here. So now these ones over here are for when you have the level 3 item selected. With the food item converter in your offhand, of course. So again, same thing as the last two. Except we just come over here and you change the selected item to the orange dye named level 3 right over here. And then the rest is exactly the same. So now this command creates an orange particle dust effect. So exactly the same, except we just come over here and we alter the dust particle colors to these numbers right over here. Scale equals 1. And then these numbers over here are exactly the same. And then this command adds the food components to the items. So, same thing, except we come over here and we change the values of nutrition to 11 for both right over here. And now we're on to these commands right here, which will activate if you have level 4 selected. So, same first bit as the last 3 I just showed you, except we just come over here and we change the selected item to the special red dye named level 4 as you see here. And then the rest is exactly the same. And then this command creates the red dust particle effect. So, same thing as all the others, except we just come over here and we change the dust particle color right over here to these numbers. Scale equals 1, colon 1. And then we have the numbers and the squiggly lines exactly the same as before. And then, same command that adds the food components to the items on the ground. So, as you can see, same thing, except we just come all the way to the end here, and we change the nutrition and saturation values to 16 for both right over here. Pretty standard stuff. So now we're going to come over to these 3 right here, which pretty much will act as the reverse mode for the food item converter, pretty much when you hold the item in your main hand. Starting with this one, which will activate the same scoreboard, except if the food item converter is in your main hand, as I just said. So this first bit means when you have the carrot on a stick named food item converter selected with the special tag right here is going to run this. Run executed as at R at S if entity at S, and inside brackets we do scores equals edible underscore items equals 1, 2 dots at the end, close both brackets, and then we do run scoreboard player set at E, and the rest is pretty much exactly the same as all the others as you see. And then this command pretty much creates the gray dust particle effect. So pretty much the exact same thing as all the others I've shown you, except we do this here. So we just want to alter the dust particle colors as you see from these numbers here. Scale colon 1, and then we do 3 squiggly lines like this, and then all the numbers are exactly the same. Now this command over here removes the food components from the items on the ground. So it's pretty much the exact same first bit as all the others I've shown you, except we need to do this here. So you just need to come over here and then you need to do food, :0 right here, instead of 2 curly brackets, which you would usually do. Which then will turn the items back to normal, which is not being edible. So now we're going to move on to these last 4 commands right here, which pretty much remove the items when you have the food item converter in your main hand. Starting with this one. So pretty much same first bit as the last one I just showed you, except we do this here. Clear at P, and then you put in all the information for the special lime dye named level 1, as you see here. And this command is the same thing, except this is for the yellow dye named level 2. And same thing for the level 3 item right over here. And of course, same thing for removing the level 4 item. Right over here. And yeah, that is pretty much edible item commands in Minecraft. And that, my friends, is gonna wrap up for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more videos like this, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe. And turn on those notifications so you don't miss another video. Apart from that, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you all next week in the next one. Goodbye.